How about this? You're the one taking the position that I'm moronic.
No.
Please
You don't get to cite a random.com website.
No, I'm not. I have a slew of them, but the problem is I can't read them off.
Autism causes people to be trans and vice versa.
No. Here is the position.
You made the positive claim, and you should
can't
know this
read
as
the
an
list
attorney,
off to you.
that if you were in court and you made a claim, you have to provide the evidence.
I'm so glad.
If you just randomly pulled out a claim and didn't have any evidence to back that up, what would happen?
Getting those sources again?
I am currently searching them. The problem is, as you were talking,
so you made this random claim.
Okay, can I speak? You
talk
to me like I talk over you, and I never get the response.
So what would probably happen is that would be stricken from the record, or you could even be cited for it if you just made these blasphemous random claims without evidence.
I just gave you a source.
You didn't give us a source. You gave us a
.com.
random website. That's not a source. That's like stating Fox News is a source.
And you said you
That's
had
like stating Google is a source.
You said you had a slew of
Okay, can you? I'm trying to get a computer so I can read this to you. The problem is, I can't dual phone, and you have access to it, and you're willfully sitting in your ignorance, refuting it.
We're sitting.
I have your website up. I'm looking right now.
Hold on,
you don't even know what you're talking about. We're the ignorant ones.
No.
See, here's the funny thing,
Alexander.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about because I've heard this talking point before,
bring your
it's actually really sad that you, as a so-called lawyer,
you have the ability to have the
everything that you read on that it's gospel. It's quite embarrassing. You would think as somebody with a doctorate who is a lawyer would have better critical thinking skills and the ability to go and look up credible, reputable
I just got
sources.
educated by a mother who's pushing indoctrination on her child. This is what I have to say.
Oh,
I presented you both with two ideological...
Oh, there it is.
I haven't heard
It's giving 5-4 energy.
Because again, you're not letting me talk. You're not letting me respond.
Guess what? I don't care. If you want to be a blowhard, I can do it right back.
I maybe found the one he's talking about that says that gender dysphoria can come from autism, which is a weird claim I've never seen before. But also, this is from 2020. I don't see anything. It says last medically reviewed on August 19th, 2020, but there's no sources for it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That if you're going to make these positive claims, and you don't have any sort of reputable sources, just because you say it's a news article or it's a Google search or it's a fucking Twitter post, that doesn't make it a source.
Oh, this article, I think it's assuming it's someone he's talking about. Maybe it's not, but this article talking about the autism and gender dysphoria. One of its sources is the Littman study. Parents' reports of adolescents and young adults perceived to show signs of rapid onset of gender dysphoria, which is the social contagion theory.
Yep. Yeah, so that's what we call bias. I just had a whole conversation about this in Jovan's live.
Oh man, someone sent me a ridiculous source from a source. I say that with air quotes because it was just from a LGBT and woman hate group trying to prove me wrong.
That's embarrassing.
Oh my God.
They always make them sound so official and nice, like the American Association of Pediatrics or something like that. I forget what it was actually pulling that off the top of my head, but I don't know what it was actually called, but it was...
It's really funny you mentioned that because there are actually, and I'd have to look this up to confirm because I don't quite remember the difference in title, but there's like the American Pediatric Association and then the American Association of Pediatricians or something like that. And one is like a right-wing hate group and the other one is just like a collective of pediatricians.
Yeah.
And, you know, people like to, again, you know, cite those sources without actually looking into it and understanding the source of the source. It's no, NPR is not a source. That's not how it works. We don't use news articles, opinion pieces, etc., unless they are directly linked to evidence reviews or peer-reviewed studies.
Thank you.
Okay, can you hear me? Sorry, it's glitching really bad for me.
Hey, Artemis.
Coming through okay?
Yep, I hear you.
Hey, Dora.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so the other study that a lot of people don't, they read the headline and then didn't read into, and I need to find the link for it. But essentially, all it states is that autistic people are more welcoming and more accepting of the gender spectrum than those that are not. Which, if anybody knows about autistic people or knows about the autistic spectrum, that makes so much sense, as diversity and inclusion is extremely prevalent in the autistic community. So that's the one that a lot of people also don't read correctly, because the headline was like, autistic people, or more, it says something like autistic people are more likely to be LGBTQIA, and it's not what that study actually says. It's stating that they're more open to the concept of their spectrum, hence why you would see more gender fluidity within the community. And they're also more welcoming of others that are not autistic. Yeah, that's the NPR one. Yeah, it's just one little thing, but that's the thing that people try to cite. So I was just mentioning that one, just so if you come across someone trying to say that stuff, that's what that one says.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where I think he was going, because I am familiar with that information. It's the idea that people who are autistic have, as you said, like a more broad view or understanding of gender. That's why we see a correlation between the use of neopronouns in people who have autism. It's not a causation, it's a correlation. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, again, as somebody who is neurospicy, our brains function a little bit differently, and that's okay. The way that I look at things may be different from the way somebody else looks at things. So the way that we conceptualize things is different. It doesn't make it inherently bad. And again, if you're just extrapolating this far right talking point narrative, you're just being disingenuous. You're not bothering to read what the information actually means. You're just reading what you want it to mean.
Exactly. So that was all I was trying to come up here to say. I will jump down because I know too much on one side looks bad and opposition doesn't like to come up. So I will hop down. Y'all have this covered as usual. Thank you for having me, Mel. It's always a pleasure, and Nerdy and Adorna and Abby.
Thanks, Artemis.
Nerdy, how do you adjust your background?
I just pinch.
Just
You
on the main
do that?
screen?
Yeah, I just pinch. I take the background. I'm sorry. Do you have an iPhone?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. So if you just pinch the screen, you can adjust the size of the background.
Why is that not possible on Android?
I have an iPhone and it's not doing anything.
That's weird.
Okay, so it's not just me.
Yeah.
I mean, I know TikTok doesn't give us all the same feature set. Maybe you got an update we didn't, Nerdy.
Maybe. I don't know. That's
maybe
weird.
I can't. Nothing happens. I didn't know if I needed to be on a different screen to get it to do it.
Yeah. If you go to the edit screen and as if you were going to pull up this screen before you started the live, you'll have the option to modify it, and then you should be able to change it.
I don't know. It doesn't seem to be doing anything. Anyway, the first word is telling. I don't know why it's cut off. I can't fix it. Hello?
Yeah, I completely disagree. You can't compare both of them. One's medical, one's just a fable.
What's medical?
The trans formation for trans.
No, what I'm talking about is affirming your child. If your child says that if your child was born male and they say that they're a girl, is affirming them.
At what age, though? I'm curious.
At any age that they need.
So if my 2-year-old says, I want to be Superman, give me a cape.
Your
fly
2-year-old doesn't
No.
have a concept of gender.
Superman's not a gender.
It doesn't matter. But my
Yes, it
kids
does.
told me to be a Batman. I'm Batman, but you're not.
Do your
Batman's
children
not a
go to
gender.
bed crying every night because they can't be Batman, do they say that they're so unhappy that they want to unalive themselves
So
because they can't be Batman?
no, my son or daughter at 2 years old is not going to lie themselves for that.
Oh,
Just
whoa, look
as
at that. So
they
then
want
you
to
can't
lie themselves. I mean,
because
I'm a girl or a
kids that have
guy.
their gender affirmed and are actively denied by their community are much more likely to have their thoughts. So no, they're not the
At two
same.
years old, no. At two
Okay,
years
you're
old,
not
no. A 2-year-old
listening?
doesn't know
You're not
better.
Because
sorry,
gender
go
identity
ahead.
isn't developed. The gender identity is developed between 3 and 7, roughly 4 and 7, somewhere in that range. So by 2, they probably wouldn't know that. They wouldn't be able to communicate it either because they wouldn't have the wordage. So older kids are the ones that are more likely to be in that unaliving range, that
So
56% of trans kids who don't receive gender affirming care that we see for 18 and under.
so what's the age? That's what I'm asking. Like, what do you guys
She
think?
literally
Between
just said
3 and
3 to
7
7.
is where gender identity, 3 to
3 to
7 is when
7.
it's
That's very
developed,
weird.
and then we
Okay.
affirm that from any point onward.
Now, how did you guys come up with this 3 to 7 age? Is this like fact or?
Science.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
fact. It's science.
Yes, this has been affirmed by pediatricians and endocrinologists and sociologists and psychiatrists and.
Yeah,
And then,
this is very easily this information
so
you can either find.
when it comes to affirming care, I mean, I guess I kind of, I mean, it is what it is on that, I guess.
It is what
But
it is.
are you talking about putting pills in kids also at that age?
Mm-hmm.
Not at 7.
Not yet.
Only
Right,
if
probably
they
a
have
little older,
precocious
right?
puberty.
Yeah.
Okay. So when they get in there, okay, I got you.
Like puberty blockers at 10 or stage 2, HRT at 14.
Okay. Now, so what do we do with all these people that are against it now because they went through it and it was horrible for them?
There's not very
So how
many
do
of
we?
them.
Okay,
There's
so
not very
they're
many.
valid.
Wait,
They're
it's
valid
valid
in
though.
that.
There are people that have been through it.
Listen,
So you
listen,
can't
wait,
say
wait.
it's
So
not
wait.
fallacy.
So the number is very small
Okay.
of the people that detransition due to pressure, financial reasons, and safety reasons.
That's
A large majority
not
of those
true.
people, well, that it is true. A large majority of those people, which is again a very small amount, will retransition. Adora is a retransitioner.
Yeah.
And then again, those people are valid. It wasn't for them. But that's
Okay.
not to say that a small minority of trans people that made the wrong decision should dictate healthcare for the rest of the trans community
me-
who are making the right decision for them.
Let me
May
ask
I?
it. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
So for instance, right, this is a different thing, of course, but I was on antidepressants as a child. They didn't help me. Does that mean we should no longer give antidepressants to any child?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I'm not saying don't give it. I just don't. I feel like there's not a. I think it's being pushed on, in my opinion.
Jesus.
So like me,
No.
in the early '90s, I was given Ritalin because a lot of kids were getting Ritalin. It was an experimental medicine. It did mess me up really bad. Obviously, I spent 3 years on it. Luckily, my parents were like, you know what, this is not good for. Even though science and doctors say it's good for kids, it's not.
Yeah, that's not what's
thing
happening
is-
here. That we see
the thing
clear
is-
positive
Can I
results from
finish?
HRT.
Can I finish?
Clear
Hold on.
positive results.
No, yeah, there are positive results, but there are also negative results. So I'm getting at. So I'm not saying let's take
What are
it
the
away.
negative?
Yeah,
What are
there's side effects,
What are
so
the
what?
negative? What are the negative you're talking about?
Or what?
For hormones or puberty blockers or whatever the heck you're talking about.
Well, there are some creators, especially on this app, that are talking about their
Right, they get
mishaps.
pushed because that's what people want to hear. They get
No,
pushed.
no. Hold up. So you're gonna
Can you say
invalidate-
actual sources and not TikTok?
You're gonna invalidate human beings that have been through it.
Nope. We
Again,
validate two
we're not.
transitioners.
But there is.
84% group of people to somehow detract from the
Okay, hold
larger
up.
issue at
Let me-
hand, which is people who transition or who are trans are not being respected.
Okay,
or
so let me
treated with
ask
dignity
a
or
question.
not-
Let me ask a question for this group here. If I decided as a heterosexual person, said, you know
that
what,
you wanted to be a woman
hold
tomorrow.
on. That science says there's only 0.1% of intersex, right? And so I go around saying, well, there's not enough intersex. What the hell with them? Is that what you're saying,
Wait, what
right?
are you talking about? What?
No, hold on.
Jesus Christ.
I
Intersex people
used
are not,
How many more
are
times do we
not
have to say
used
validate?
trans. Like,
I
that's
used
not,
it, and you guys are using the same concept. Who cares about the little
No.
bit that are invalid? You guys are
How
invalidating
many
the little
times
bit
do
of
we have to
people.
say that detransitioners are valid before you realize that we think that detransitioners are valid?
Right, you keep saying we're invalidating them, and we're literally not. We're just saying you can't
Because-
use a couple experiences where things didn't work out.
Yeah, but these people, some of these people on here, they've gone to, the government knows them pretty well because they've been hurt with this stuff. They go out in
What?
schools and talk to
Are they
kids,
those-
talk to children. Yes, they
Yeah,
go
we
talk
know
to
they get a
what
kids.
the
platform
fuck
that they
are you
don't.
So hold
talking
up.
about?
This
You
guy-
are
They get
hold
an
on.
elevated
talking
platform because of
nonsense.
the narrative being pushed against trans people.
It's not a platform against nobody. It's just to give notice to people that this
Say
could be
one
dangerous.
positive thing about trans people then.
So let me ask you a question. So what you're saying is you want me
Or
to
I
come in
can't
here and
disagree
say,
with what Nerdy said.
what
Well,
you
that
want
answers that
what you want me to
question.
do
If
is
you're
come
not
in here
here
and say,
for a negative viewpoint.
I'm
can't
not
even
for
say one
negative. Stop saying that because I'm not
positive
here
thing.
for negative view of trans people. I never said that. I care about people individually. That's my problem. Your guys'
You
problem
really
is you go
don't, though.
warn people. I really do because I was affected by
If you
my
did,
medicine.
you wouldn't have come up here.
Negative.
And
I was
fed us
affected by
the most
medication as a
negative,
child.
Stereotypical talking.
I was affected by medication as a child, and I had that right
That's
to go
cool.
protect other children.
That's not
Yeah,
the
but listen,
medication that is
listen.
given to trans individuals.
It doesn't matter.
Hold
It's
on.
still bad. Yeah.
Hold. My child, my individual child is working very well for her. She's very happy with it. So
And that's good. That's good. But it doesn't
Yeah,
see.
I want to bring it.
the point
Can I
is
bring up again why I brought up the antidepressant thing really quick? The reason I brought up the antidepressant thing is, yeah, antidepressants didn't work for me, but you don't see me going around being like, oh, let me go from school to school and talk about how antidepressants may not work for some people. These people are purposely trying to, like, stop trans people from being able to access the care that they need.
That's not true. They're not doing that. Now, some people are doing
No, they
that.
literally
but
are.
these
They
people
literally are.
not.
Wait,
They are
what do you
not.
mean it's
They're not.
True?
So let me ask you a question. So you guys are going to ignore all the bad stuff when it comes to side effects. Is what you're going to do?
Nope. No.
Oh,
No, we're
No,
not.
not
That's
one
what you're
bit.
saying. You say ignore
we're
what
not.
people say about the side effects.
Listen,
That's
No,
what
we're
you just
not.
said.
Listen,
we do not
Sky.
say that.
Wait, I got this. Wait. Sky. So when you start puberty blockers or HRT, especially as a child, but they do it for adults too because they're required to, you sign in for what's called informed consent. For children, that involves them signing off, the parent signing off, and multiple doctors or therapists signing off. That means, and for adults, it's just them signing off. That means that they are very well aware of all the negative side effects that could or do occur from going on puberty blockers or hormones.
Right.
For hormones, those things include like loss of sperm and egg cell. You might not be able to reproduce again. That's part of the informed consent process. They tell you before you start.
And it makes it right. That's what you're saying.
Can I address
Yes,
another?
because the child, the therapist, and the parent are well aware of the
Crazies.
thing
Hold on.
that's
It makes
happening.
it so individual people
I'm sorry,
can make their own
crazies?
decisions.
Yes. Severely. So
Okay,
my
you
thing
can
is,
leave.
as a parent, I
You
will
can
always
leave. You can leave.
my kid.
You can
I
leave.
will not
Yeah,
allow
no,
kids
no, you won't. If you have a trans
hurt
child, you will
themselves.
harm that trans child.
No, I
If you
will
have a
not.
trans child,
I'll help
Please
him
go.
out.
you will abuse them.
But I
Sky,
am
you
not
can
going to.
leave.
I'm not going to just
Bye,
leave
Sky.
Goodbye.
it.
Crazies because
Bye,
you don't.
Sky.
I know I'm
understand
right.
what
You're
Abby's saying.
making me leave, and I'm right.
Your
I
kids
know.
are going
No,
to put you in a
you-
nursing home. Have a good one.
Thank you.
fly away.
Nope. Thanks for being crazy and
Bye,
denying
Sky.
the truth. Thank you.
Bye. It's not an airport. You don't need to announce your departure. Bye.
Rocky.
I wanted to clarify for him that for a child to get medical transition, right, like HRT or hormone blockers, they have to be diagnosed with gender dysphoria, for one. And like it's just so irritating how someone can have such strong opinions on, from what I was hearing, something that they have such little knowledge about.
And are unwilling to learn about it.
Well, and
For
Lowell
real.
in the comments, he kept arguing against things they never said. Exactly. He kept bringing up things and saying things that we never said. He went back to we're invalidating detransitioners like 5 times after we told him like 20 times that we validate them and they're valid in their experience.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Stories are 100% valid, but it's not a reason to restrict the healthcare from other people. Again, like with my thing about antidepressants, right? Just because my antidepressants didn't work for me doesn't mean they're not going to work for other people, and that other people do need them. There are people out there that need this medication that didn't personally work for me. But I don't understand how that's not clicking.
And my story with detransition is literally the most common detransition story of
Yeah.
detransitioning due to transphobia and then retransitioning later on.
Yeah. Anybody else?
I was just going to say that when people come up here and they feel as though their opinion holds the same weight as somebody else, you have to remember that there are lots of opinions that are wrong. And just because you have them doesn't mean that we have to entertain them. And it doesn't mean that we will allow people to come up here and spew hate and bigotry and misinformation. That's not what this is. If you want to come up here and you want to learn, then that's great. We will help you learn. But if you come up here with a set talking point and you just want to wait to speak, we're going to match that energy. I say this all the time. Respect is earned until proven, or respect is given until proven otherwise.
Yeah, I also want to clarify that there's a difference between ignorance and willful ignorance. It's okay to just not understand or know something right away, but if you're purposely choosing to ignore the data and information we're giving you, you're choosing to be willfully ignorant. And at that point, there's no reason to talk to you anymore or to be sympathetic with you. If you're purposely choosing not to hear what we're saying, that's on you.
Yeah.
Exactly. And yes, opinions can be wrong. They're wrong all the time. It's my opinion that I'm 5 foot. It's my opinion that I'm 6'5". That's very wrong because I'm neither one of those. But that's my
Oh, man.
opinion.
I'm finally
You have
below
to
6
respect
feet.
my
I'm so
opinion.
excited.
Oh, what'd you say?
I said I'm finally below 6 feet. I'm now 5'11".
Oh my goodness!
Oh,
Wow,
nice.
you've lost that much height. How tall were you prior?
6 foot.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
thinking you were like 6'3" and you
No.
had lost that much height.
You can lose a couple inches, right? Doesn't some
Yep.
people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard of people losing shoe sizes. Unfortunately, I have not lost. I need to just lose one shoe size and stores buy shoes. I can't.
That's awesome.
Just one shoe size.
I love it.
Oh, Rita, why are you here?
Come on in, Rita. Let me at her. Come on,
Do I get
Rita.
permission to just make fart noises every time she speaks?
I mean, why is she here? Rita.
Hey, Rita.
Hey, you were requesting on my page too, I think.
Rita is so weird. Rita just stalks all these
Hey,
pages
Rita.
now.
Rita,
Where are your
go ahead.
parents?
Where are your parents?
One of them's flushed down the
Don't
toilet
talk to
because when they
mine.
were cremated, that's what I did.
Okay, Rita? Why are you here? Are you going to argue about this topic? Go ahead. I want to hear what you have to say.
To be honest, all I have to say is that it says telling your kids the Tooth Fairy, Easter Bunny.
Can read. You don't have to read it for us. We know what it says.
I'm trying to read it, babes. I'm trying
We don't
Read
care.
in
We
your
know that you
head.
still believe in the Tooth Fairy, Easter Bunny, and Santa.
Oh,
it's
more
okay.
helpful than gender affirming care should not be allowed for kids under 8.
Not
That's
even say gender.
great.
Heard that.
It
Heard
Great,
that on
Rita.
that.
I'm so
Talking
glad at the
about it.
ripe old age of
Oh.
18 that you have that opinion.
Oh my God. Rita, Sherry and I talked to you the other night and you argued about this.
I'm the same generation I am, and ooh,
She just graduated high school last week.
Less than 2 months
Yeah,
ago.
Yikes.
She's already. But wait, everybody. Also, her cousin works in the FBI, is a
Correct.
psychiatrist. And what else? What else is
No,
that cousin?
okay, first of all, fact check.
What else is that cousin? That cousin. Oh, that's right. They're a doctor.
There are two different
forgot.
cousins.
They're a doctor,
two different.
psychiatrist, FBI agent.
They're two different cousins.
Oh, yeah.
can I take?
Mary and I
Also,
will.
are you a teacher?
Am I a teacher? No.
Do you work? So you work with children?
Yes, I work with children. My job
Okay,
is working
awesome.
with children.
That's frightening.
Can I take some notes on you for my parody account? I think it'll be really funny.
Taking genders is frightening.
Picking
Frightening
gender.
was says
I'm
you
gonna
don't have
write
to do
that
it.
down. Thank you. I'm gonna need some more like info. I'm taking notes.
Encouraging
Don't
a
worry.
mental disorder is frightening.
Is it?
Supporting it
We're not
is
encouraging. Good
frightening.
thing we're
it,
not
Rita?
encouraging the mental disorder. We're treating it.
No, treating it by gender.
Hey, Rita, how come you wiped your profile and changed your picture? Was it because you were so embarrassed by the last time that you were up here? And
No,
we
I
called
really
you
wasn't
out and
embarrassed
told you
'cause
that
I
you
was-
need to stop being transphobic and calling a trans person the T slur and calling me a whore? Do you remember that? Do
I
you
do
remember when I
remember
showed
that.
that video in front of
Hey,
so
hey,
many
Rita,
people?
Maybe
why
I
don't-
won't be taking
Rita, why don't-
notes.
Rita, why don't you turn your camera on and say the T slur again, or the F slur,
Wait,
or
what's
the
the
N word?
what's the T slur? May I know?
Oh,
You
said it
are
before.
smiling. You
No.
know exactly what we're saying.
Hey, Rita, do me a favor. Click your little box, turn the camera on, and then say T slur, F slur, N word. You pick. You pick what slur you want
Yeah,
to say.
freedom of speech, baby.
Arar,
It is
arar,
freedom of
arar,
speech.
arar.
Freedom of
Nerdy-
speech, baby.
Nerdy,
Exactly. I knew
wait,
you were going
Nerdy-
to say that.
Nerdy, why did you make
What's the freedom
several,
of speech?
Why did you make
Come on,
several
if you have freedom of
fake-
speech, go ahead and say it. Say the T slur, say the F slur, say
What
the R
F-
slur. You
so
love
say
the
the
Right.
You want me to say the F word?
No, the F
No,
slur, the
F
T slur, the
slur,
R
not
slur.
fuck.
Show the video again
If you want.
because it was embarrassing.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's America, freedom of speech. Just like you have
Okay,
a
then say-
freedom to
then
pick
say
your
the N-word.
gender.
Then say the N word.
I did not say that.
Then
No,
say
but
the
say it.
N word.
You said freedom
No,
of speech.
because
It's America.
that's not something I say.
Freedom of speech, baby. You can say whatever.
Yeah, we're
you
the
want.
government. We're the government. So yeah, this is relevant.
No, I did not say that.
No, we're not saying you did.
No, it's fine.
We're
You're
saying that
saying
you
freedom
said
of
there's
speech.
freedom of speech.
And
so
I'm not
turn your
gonna say
camera
that.
on, grow
Oh,
some
you're not,
balls, and
because-
say the F slur, or the
Why?
N word, or the T slur.
Yeah, say the F slur, say the T slur, say the R slur. Go ahead.
What's the T slur? Like, give me an example.
Like, no, you know exactly what it is.
Why are you talking like that?
Rita, here's the
Because
weird
that's
thing, right? Is that
Don't
you're
so-
using freedom
Margarita,
of speech to
listen.
defend yourself using slurs they want.
Facts don't care about your feelings. Just because you think you're a different gender.
Are you a Ben Shapiro simp?
Is that an answer to my? Is that an answer to my question? I don't
Ben
think it
Shapiro
is.
is the best.
You're using freedom to defend. Yeah, you're using freedom of speech to defend yourself using a slur.
Ben Shapiro's a win.
Rita, what's your college going to think about
Over
this?
here, and
What's
you
my what?
Your
the last time that
college.
you were here, and they
That's none of your business.
No, it will be very soon. Trust me.
Pat,
Do you think that's a
Pat,
threat?
graduate of
College?
kindergarten,
Oh, no,
baby?
it's not a threat.
Rita.
It's in no way a threat.
Rita.
It's the fact that you're saying this on a public social media account.
Okay.
I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do a single newly 18. That you should probably be mindful of being a bigot and a transphobe online if
Also-
you think that you're just going to be absolved of the consequences of your actions.
Also, chat.
It's
She's
called
18.
accountability.
She just graduated from high school last year, and I know she's damn well smart enough not to have graduated early. So she's definitely 18, minimum older 7.
Okay, wow. You hurt my feelings.
Rita, here's the funny
Wow.
thing. That
Say
you
the
need to
N
realize.
word. Say the F slur. Say the T slur. I know you
Rita,
know R
here's
slur.
the thing. Oh, wait, hold on. Rita, here's the thing. This is what I really like. That was something I want you to understand.
What did you sorry?
Okay.
How about you go pay
The
your phone
things-
bill
listen-
so your Wi-Fi can work?
Listen to what I'm trying to tell you.
You don't even pay your own bills. You still live with
connection
your
is
parents, you
terrible
brat. Be quiet.
I bought my own car, so.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you
Indeed, I
didn't.
Did you buy it or did you get it gifted?
I put down my down payment for
Oh
my
my
own
God.
car. Thank you very
Oh my
much.
lord.
You put down the down payment, but you didn't buy
You
it.
bought your
I pay
own
it
car.
monthly.
Okay.
I pay it monthly.
You pay it monthly. Honey, you didn't buy it.
Okay.
But a
you hear
Honda
me
car from
okay?
Walmart?
I'm sorry, Nick.
You're
Am I
breaking
coming
up a
through okay
little
now?
bit. You're good.
Yes, we
Sound
can
like
hear you
Sherry.
now. Perfect.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why. But here's the thing. Okay, I'm just gonna try moving a little bit, see if that helps it. I don't know why I'm cutting out, but here's the thing. Am I
Nope.
am I good?
Copy for a
You're
moment.
in and out.
Please go pay your Wi-Fi
I really
bill.
don't know why.
Rita, shut Margarita. Margarita. Stop it.
She doesn't even pay her own Wi-Fi bill.
I do. I don't pay
Oh
my
my
Wi-Fi bill,
Lord.
but at least I pay my car bills.
Rita, honestly,
what
how are
job
we?
what you do and don't pay?
How
Is
are
this
we from
supposed
the
to be
same
a
generation?
that-
How are like
Your
truly
Toyota?
have that boomer mentality? And I'm very confused how
What
the
kind of
boomer
car do you
mentality.
have? What kind of car do you have, Rita?
I have an Audi. It's a 2018. Try
Hey,
again.
thanks for sharing that information on a public fucking platform.
Are you gonna come like
Jesus,
egg
this
my
is too
car?
easy. This is
What
That
am I-
too
was so
easy.
dumb.
Am I
That
showing
was
you my
so
license
dumb.
This
plate?
was too. This
Oh,
is
that
too
was
easy.
so dumb. You shouldn't have
Are
done
you gonna
that.
come
That
egg
was
my
so
car?
dumb.
Rita, you should probably unplug your internet. Maybe cancel that bill.
That was
Yeah.
enough for Rita today.
How the is she in my generation? Unironically,
Insane.
how can you be a Gen Zer and talk like that and act like that? And oh my fucking god!
I can promise you right now that at 18, or it would have been very, very recently, that no dealership, no loan company would have allowed her to lease or lease to own an Audi, not an Audi, an Audi at 18.
She probably got a
without her
cosign.
parents
She probably got a
co-signing for
cosign with her
it, and-
parents.
Yeah, exactly. Let's be real. Come on. We're adults. We know how this works. I couldn't even
She
get
said her mom
like a
co-signed it.
shitty
She just commented.
1995 I think
Oh my
I
God.
couldn't even get a
Guys.
Honda Civic, a 1995 Honda Civic without my parents co-signing when I was 18. Come on.
All right.
You guys remember just turning 18 and just being the most arrogant guy in the world? Like just the most arrogant bitch in the world?
Nope.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
Oh man. That was a fun time.
Recently, actually. All right. Hello, Haley.
Back.
Hi, how's it going?
All right. What's up?
Hi, I just actually, I don't know if this is what you want or, if this is okay, but I just came on just to say, I transitioned at 14, 36 now. And I agree. I think, look after the trans kids. I know my parents looked after me. They were really helpful. I didn't start medically transitioning till I was 16, but I still think, oh, sorry if my accent's a bit crazy as well. I'm from New Zealand. But yeah, I think definitely having support from parents is going to do far better. I think I turned out great, and I didn't have a dad, but I definitely had a great mum. So
Badass.
yeah.
Awesome.
Haley, I just want to say you are absolutely gorgeous.
I love your accent.
Oh, thank you.
Talk about what hair care products you use, because oh my goodness.
Me?
Yes.
My hair, I don't know. I just use what do I use? I just Kevin something.
I was gonna say, if you say like Dove body soap, I'm gonna be so mad that you can just like do that with your hair and it comes out beautiful.
No, that was in my teenage years. We were using soap.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, people are saying Kevin Murphy. Oh,
Kevin Murphy, that's what I used. Yes.
Kevin
I was
Murphy.
going to go up to the bathroom and have a look, but I was like, no, someone got there first.
Oh no, Kevin Murphy
Oh,
was
did
the
someone
product.
meet
It
those
wasn't.
people?
No.
They weren't dead naming them. That was
Comments
the
got
product they used for their hair.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of sounded like a Republican angry white guy. So to be fair,
But yeah, no, so I definitely think, and also I mean, I've grown up in New Zealand, which I think is far more tolerant, and like we have, in my country, we have Māori Indigenous people, and in their culture, it's very normal, and it's very normal and accepted to have gay, lesbian, and trans kids. So it's just, I think I'm quite lucky. I'm quite lucky to be in New Zealand and have access to everything I've had access to, and yeah.
Can I mention a fun fact about New Zealand compared to America? So,
sure.
Yeah, before America had the right for gay people to get married, New Zealand already had the right to have X as your gender marker.
I know, actually, my birth certificate said female quite a few years ago now. I was quite lucky. But We also were the first country to allow the woman to vote. Yes.
That's awesome.
Go Kate Shepherd. Yeah, it's
So
quite.
he's-
It's a,
Sorry.
hey, go for it.
I'm just always like to see Americans' reactions when I bring that up. It's just like it's so devastating that America is so far behind. Like being fully honest, so far behind.
I know, and I think to myself, being trans as a youth these days, I feel like is harder than when it was back in 2002 or 3 when I transitioned, and it should be the opposite. You'd think, you hear about all this progression and how the world's developing and how people are more accepting, and I'm like, I don't know if that's true. I'm like, when I transitioned, things were different. Like it was like, oh my God, you're trans. Now it's like, oh, she's trans.
Like
It's
the
definitely
surgeries and
changed.
treatments have come. Society is so far backwards.
Well, the
Agreed.
things that like support and gender affirming care type things were already in place, and people didn't know about it. So, trans kids got to like kind of go about their own business without everyone having an opinion on it. Is there,
Yeah. And social media definitely has made a big impact on that. Like we didn't have social media. So,
Exactly.
it was just what you seen on the streets and what you seen at school and what you seen on TV, and that was it. And actually, do you know what's crazy is I didn't even know what a transgendered woman, I'd never met one, I'd never seen one. And then I just transitioned and I was like, oh, this is what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm sick of these arguments, especially coming from America, from the right, the conservatives, especially say, about these puberty blockers for children and how they're irreversible. I'm like, that's definitely not true. I don't know what kind of pills they've got. Well, I don't know what kind of medication they have in America, but over here we have 2 puberty blockers only available, and they're both fully reversible. So, for example, when I first started taking my puberty blockers, I was probably a little late, I guess. I was 16, and so puberty had already started, but I still took them for like 10 years. And then when I came off them, because I went off them for a long time, and all my functions and everything came back, which is probably why I have a deep voice, which I don't really care about. But and yeah, I think to say that they're irreversible is just absolutely incorrect, because I'm proof. I've been on them. I've been on them for 10 years and then came off them, and every single function came back. Yeah. And when it did come back, I even went to the doctors and had my sperm frozen. So, and it was healthy, and I'm like, well, there we go. It's not a contraction like people say. It's all about dosage and all of that. Sorry, I just went on a little.
There's a lot of misinformation around him, because the thing is, like, the idea that like it'll cause permanent, like you permanently don't go through puberty. I mean, we don't see adults running around that look like young children, because that's what would happen if you didn't go through puberty.
Exactly. I agree.
Yeah. All
Used to
right.
do that
Did you
in
want to add
Italy
anything
with
else, Whitley?
What was it? Sorry.
Did you want to add anything else before I add the next person?
No, that's all right. No, I think that was me. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming in.
Thank
You're
you so
welcome.
much.
Thank you.
She also has
Also,
one of my
Alex-
absolute favorite names.
She was so sweet. I
nearly
just want to
picked
say
Haley for
something
mine.
real quick. Chat, I apologize for those comments not being blocked immediately. I wanted to make sure that I got screenshots of everything. But I see you, Cameron. We've got it taken care of.
Hello, Jen.
Hey there, how are you?
Hi, good. What's up?
Thank you for getting rid of Rita earlier, by the way. I had just gotten rid of my migraine. I was not looking forward to it.
I hear you.
And I wanted to say hi to Adora. I watch your lives all the time, sweetheart. You're
Hi.
amazing.
Thank you so
hello
much.
again, Nerdy.
Hey.
Hey. I don't know. I just kind of wanted to I know you probably just want people that are opposing views, but I just wanted to come on and say thank you. I watch your lives all the time. Like, I recognize Abby too. Hi, Abby. Um, I've learned quite a bit. Like, honestly, I have learned so much just from watching all of your lives.
It's always nice to hear some positive things, well, with all the negativity we get. So thank you.
For sure.
So thank you. That's all I wanted to say, guys.
Okay, well, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Comments, no, you don't get muted if you disagree. You're muted for bigotry or hate or hello.
Hi, I also wanted to say thank you as well. I'm a mom, and my son just recently told me that he is dating someone that was born a female but identifies as male. And he was afraid to tell me, but of course, that's my son, and I support him. And I absolutely love his boyfriend. And I just wanted to let you guys know that these conversations are very important. It educates people, and as a mom that didn't know very little, I enjoy coming in and listening to you guys talk and things like that, because it's helping me to become more educated so I could be the best mom and support my child. So thank you for that.
That's really the point, right? Like, that's why I run my lives. That's my main goal, is to help teach parents to understand that their kids can be trans and how to support them. So,
and Haley,
that's awesome.
Haley just left, but absolutely gorgeous. I'm jealous. And I just appreciate you guys so much, because you guys really, and I hate that there are so many come in and they say such hateful things, but keep doing what you're doing, and I will definitely be watching.
Great. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I just say that Abby's excitement was adorable?
It's always heartwarming to hear a supportive parent.
What'd you say?
Who, Abby?
I wasn't sure who was talking.
Oh, I said don't do that to me, nerdy. Bex also says that.
Oh.
I was just saying, it's always heartwarming to hear a supportive parent. As somebody who came from a pretty broken household, that was really nice.
It is nice. Just a friendly reminder, Bex, you're amazing.
Thank you.
No problem.
You are too.
Thanks.
Y'all are the greatest people I've met on this platform.
No, you.
Uno reverse.
Yeah, Fire and Iron. We were joking about that before. We apologize because Kevin Murphy is also a right-wing politician. We didn't realize that it was also the name of a hair care product. We're not from New Zealand, so we would not have known that. It was Friendly Fire, and we apologize.
Because she did have nice hair.
Yes.
Kevin Murphy was the name of the hair care product, and also apparently a politician, which is why 2 people got muted for saying the name of a hair care product.
Yeah, it was a mistake.
Yeah, I always get DMs after every single one of my lives saying, why was I muted? Why was I muted? It's easy for us to misinterpret things, okay? It's very easy to misinterpret text.
Yeah, you don't get the tone.
If you're actually being muted for a good reason, there was a poll that's still running, I think, that tells you all the reasons you would be validly muted, so.
I would like to, especially as a neurospicy person, if I don't hear tonality, my brain will overthink what you're saying. I'm not a mod, so don't worry too much about me, but that could also happen to some other mods. They may overthink what you're saying, and yeah, sorry about that.
And we're not sorry if you deserved it.
If you're being a genuine prick, get out of here. But like,
Yeah,
if you were just making a little haha funny and someone misinterpreted it, like, because I make like jokes about being non-binary as a non-binary person, and some of them, if the person doesn't know I'm non-binary, will be like, "That's not an okay joke to make."
Yeah, and at the end of the day, like, I'll be very honest. I would rather have a few friendly fire incidents happen where people who are supportive get muted than we allow hateful bigotry in the comments, because I know that many of the people in here have seen the overt, explicit, unaliving threats, and I would rather mute people who were not trying to be hurtful than allow things like that to stay in these comments.
Yeah, same for me, 100%.
Anyone else?
We were being too nice to each other.
We love the love, but we'd appreciate someone who disagrees with us as well. So if you have 1,000 friends who follow you and want to come up and talk about the topic or something related to transgender children, that would be pretty cool.
Seriously.
Hi,
There we like each other.
I'm trans. I'm 19. If you need to do an age check, because I know some people like to do age checks. Well, first I want to say hi, Dora. That's the first thing.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing all right.
I wanted to ask, about your background. Can you explain that more in depth? Because I would like to be educated. You know, I'm just a little confused.
Well, it really just has to do with parents who are not like affirming their children. So if a child comes out as, you know, trans or they're male and say they're a girl, and the parents will not believe the child or support the child, that those types of things are more harmful than telling your kids Santa is real. Because they tend to be the same people. It's kind of like the people that come in, well, my kid believes in Santa, but they can't know their gender. It's just like these things that don't really go together, but I thought I would put them together for a topic.
Okay, that's all. Because I was a little confused, because I didn't think, in my eyes, that teaching like Tooth Fairy, Easter Bunny, and Santa was like harmful. But the way you explained it makes more sense.
Yeah, like, it's not inherently harmful, but like one of these is a blatant lie while the other is just who the kid is.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't even read that affirming your kids. Oh, I didn't even read that part. That's why I was so confused.
It's all good.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's why I was so confused. I was like, so like, because then I see like telling your kids the Tooth Fairy, Easter Bunny, and Santa are real is more harmful, and then I didn't read that part, and then I just see protect trans kids, and I was just like, what?
Yeah, you missed a big chunk of the background.
Don't tell trans kids about the Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, or Tooth Fairy. That's very damaging.
Yeah.
Go on.
Okay.
Okay.
Speaking of, how's Nacho's poopy butthole?
He's doing better, I think. He doesn't have a lot of energy still, but
Oh, poor baby.
he hasn't thrown up anymore, so.
Try giving him pumpkin.
Do you?
Honey.
Sorry,
No, you're
Mel. I have a question. Do you have kids?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, I have a transgender daughter. I have two kids. I have the one that just talked to me.
Oh, I didn't hear her. Sorry.
That's fine. Yeah. I have a 14-year-old trans daughter.
Oh, so are you like? Actually, wait. I'm not gonna ask someone their age. That's so bad. I'm not gonna do that.
My age?
Yeah.
I'm 40.
You don't look 40.
Thank you.
Ooh.
Definitely am, but I appreciate it.
I was shocked when I heard that, Mel. Genuinely. I was like, there's no way. Like, legitimately, I thought you were younger than me.
No. What?
Yep. I thought you had your kid at like 15.
No. No. But thank you. Appreciate it.
Are you guys going to debate people tonight? I mean, I only just joined, so I didn't see if you have or educate. Some people don't really like debating.
Yeah, we're trying. We've had some mixed opinions so far.
Okay, I would just Actually, wait, I don't know what I was gonna say. I'm sorry. Today has been a very stressful day. I went to a hair salon and got the most choppiest haircut you could ever see, and I started bawling my eyes out.
No.
I started crying because of it. And then, but then I was like, then I tried styling it differently, and then it doesn't look as bad.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I have cried over haircuts before too.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, sorry about the haircut. Me too. I'm very sorry about the haircut. Because my hair was a lot longer. Like, it's still short, but it was long. But then they cut it to the point where, like, it kind of looks like a bob cut. Like, not a bob cut, a bowl cut. Like, you just put a bowl on your head and and I showed them a picture too. And then I was like, looking at the picture and looking at my head. I was like, what is this?
But psychological warfare.
Seriously.
And then I showed my girlfriend who took hairdressing in college, but like she didn't she's not a hairdresser. She kind of like didn't finish that. And she said, you just don't have the hair for it. And I was like, they could have told me that instead of just cutting my hair off.
Yeah, that's not a small thing. Like, wow.
I know.
Just use some glue and some duct tape.
No,
Glue.
That'll make
No
it
glue.
worse. Don't do that.
Yeah, no.
Bubble gum.
You'll be the next
Bubble gum
freaking
and peanut
gorilla
butter.
glue person.
Listen, Abby, and your beautiful hair privilege, okay?
Seriously.
Not my fault. I haven't had like a full haircut in like, I don't know, probably at least a year and a half or longer.
Have you
I'm
ever
going
done
for
like
one tomorrow.
like a deep conditioning for your curls? Because I mean, I would just love to see the curls after like a professional, like deep conditioning.
I haven't. No, because pretty much like growing up, I always had short hair, so I had to pretty much figure out how to take care of curls by myself once I got to college. Because I started growing my hair out when the pandemic started, because obviously I couldn't get a haircut. And so I've been kind of figuring everything out. But for my boyfriend in my 6 month, he's offering to take me to like a hair place, and they're gonna like get me products and stuff. So
It's so cute.
That's cool. My hair is actually like naturally kind of curly, but I fight against it.
Do you want to see the hair?
Only if you want to
wanna
show
show
it.
it?
You don't have to.
You wanna
Oh,
see-
it's not that bad.
Yeah.
And also my eye
it's
is
that bad.
look at my eye from
Yeah,
the
it actually
piercing.
looks pretty good.
You can't see your eye.
Oh, from the piercing? It's like
Oh.
swollen.
Nice. You need to lower it a little bit because your username is covering it. There you go.
Right here.
That
Okay.
was
Yeah.
sick though.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow,
but
yeah.
the piercing made my eye black.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Make sure
Yeah.
you ice around it, but don't ice the piercing.
Yeah, can I show you my cat?
Sure. Hey, Marquet. Oh, so sweet.
Hordak is still running on the wheel. It has been the entire time.
Really?
Oh my
Yep.
God.
So crazy. Do they just like take naps after that?
Yeah, Hordak is going to be jacked.
There's a TikTok account that has just like blown up in popularity, and it's just this creator filming his hamsters
I've
running
seen that.
in hamster wheels, and I think he's got like a picture of like Kanye West in the background or something. He changes it, but it's just hilarious because they just run on this wheel, hamster gym, and they just run on this wheel, and they'll run so fast that they like catch themselves, and then they just get stuck in the wheel. Because I've seen a few different pictures. Yes, the rock. The rock is, I think, the most common one. But yeah, the hamster, it's a papa's party.
Is it those little sideways wheels, like not the vertical ones?
Yes. The papa's party is the best.
That's strange.
Can I ask your opinion on a certain TikToker?
Sure.
Maybe. All right, go ahead.
You don't have to answer if you don't want to.
Okay.
So, do you guys know who Kelly Cadigan is?
Knew we were going that direction.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yep.
We all like
Knew it.
collectively.
Not a fan.
Called
Of
it.
course we do.
What are your opinions on her?
Oh boy.
Big thumbs down.
I don't like her, but she's very confusing at the moment based on her recent videos.
She still needs to apologize. Like, she's posting all these woe is me videos and she won't fucking apologize.
She messed up.
As a non-binary person myself, it was really weird to hear Kelly be like, non-binary people personally offend me. Kelly, my identity has nothing to do with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
and
been
also
really
she
harmful
was-
to transgender children, especially considering that she had the privilege to be able to transition as a child and advocate against the care.
Her latest video, it was more of a like "woe is me" type video, but her latest video was saying how, as growing up, she's always wanted to be accepted by the people who hate her, and doing that made her lose the friends that actually cared about her. And now she's doing the same thing where she left the left, going to the right, and so we told her not to. She still did it, and she lost all the people on the left who don't want her back anymore. But the right never wanted her in the first place, so now she's just stuck. She's all, woe is me, I made this choice. And it's like, you did that to yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's a hypocrite.
Yes.
A very, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're okay. I was just going to
No.
say, I think that she caused irreparable harm to the trans community that can never be undone, no matter how much she wants to try or change. And she's going to have to live with and come to terms with her actions. And that may never happen, but these are the consequences of your actions. The harm that she did, it was a ripple effect, whether she sees it or not. She became the poster child for the anti-trans movement and hurt a lot of people, and she'll never be able to fix that.
About what she was doing before she did it, because she was very well, all of her older content, I mean, she was very supportive of the trans community. Lots of people really liked her, looked up to her.
Yep. She's the one who inspired me to start HRT. I know I've told most of you guys that, but that's mostly for Daddy Max.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I also didn't like the fact that she compared transitioning to kids transitioning to kids being pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was wild because that video she's talking about a 14-year-old who goes through that and advocates against it. That would imply that a 14-year-old got pregnant without consent because they're 14. So that's not a relevant comparison, and that kind of consent is different than informed consent. So that's a horrible comparison and also is rapey.
Yeah. Sorry if you hear me unwrapping this.
Definitely can.
So today in one of her videos, she said that gender dysphoria is what'd she call it? She called it a birth defect. That's what she called it.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yuck.
Yeah. Because it's the only way she can justify to herself why she's trans, that her brain developed as a female, but her body kept developing as a male, and so gender dysphoria is a birth defect because she was supposed to be born as a woman.
Like, I know she's probably already heard this before, and she just, like, refuses actual professionals' information on it, but, like, having dysphoria doesn't inherently... Because cis people can have dysphoria, too. And also, you don't inherently need dysphoria to be trans.
Sorry, I'm gonna be right back. My mom just got home from work.
No,
So-
okay, well, if you have to go, that's okay.
See ya.
Yeah. No, I'll just mute.
We go live all the time.
Yeah, we are.
You'll probably be welcome on a future live. I won't speak for Mel, but you're definitely welcome on my lives.
Same.
Someone
Yeah.
pointed out that your background has a typo.
Yeah, I should say Dan. Is that what it is? Is that what they're talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you
they-
know what? It
yeah.
completely invalidates the entire background in your whole experience. So.
And Mel, I don't know what your background is saying. 'Cause, like it is the one letter that's off. I don't know what it says. So
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I also want to point out, what's up with Santa Claus's hand? I don't know why, but
Yeah.
that
Flat.
little...
It's flat. He's surfing.
You should have like a present or something on it, and he doesn't.
Hello, sorry, my mouth is full of gummy bears.
He doesn't have fingers.
Hey, Burb.
Hey, how's
Hello.
everybody doing today?
Doing all right?
Great.
AI hands, Avery.
I'm sorry?
No, I was
Talking about
sorry.
Santa.
Yeah.
Oops. What's up?
Okay, so I wanted to jump on because I've been trying to kind of network with some people, and I find it really relative to our spaces and these debates. I want to talk about something that can be kind of triggering, so I'm just giving a trigger warning. With the debated laws like Florida is passing, and we talk about transgenocide. I think one thing that we skip over is the idea of like getting people to safety. So I've started the Transgender Safety Alliance, and I don't want anybody to go to my page. I don't want anybody to leave the group right now, but I wanted to offer that to you guys and gals. Like, if you need like to send people somewhere, my organization is available. I think that we should work together to try to, if we know that we're headed that direction, so we need to organize and have a safety network in place before things get too bad, get completely out of control.
It's the Transgender Safety Alliance?
Yes. You're not going to find anything on Google about it because I literally just started it like a month ago. So like there's not a website yet. It's very small. It's very loosely organized right now. That's why I'm trying to get a hold of big creators is so that we can organize something bigger.
Do you know a creator named Hot Dog or Sarat?
I do not.
So they are gathering or creating a comprehensive list, hot dog, a comprehensive list of resources for trans people across each state. And I think they would be a good person to be able to help you and maybe able to share resources.
Oh, excellent. What is their account name?
So I believe right now it's
Sarah.
Matt.
I'll comment it.
Oh, thank you. Abby's on it.
Yeah,
There, I just dropped in the chat for you.
The
That's
least,
Sarah's account. That
I am one of the
her-
least like organized people in the world. I can never help with anything.
Right, and that's fair. And I don't, I'm not asking you guys to like shout me out or anything. Just like remember that you guys have like people out there that we care about each other. Like we're all in this together.
Yeah, of
No matter
course.
how
We
bad it
appreciate.
gets in your state, if you ever need help, all you have to do is reach out to people around you. So I know that like our lives, like these debates can get really heated and go to some really, really dark places. And I just wanted to give a message of positivity and support. Like
Awesome.
we're not gonna stop. We're not gonna be defeated.
Thank you for sharing that. And
Yeah.
I forgot to ask, what are your pronouns?
She, her. I've been on HRT for 6 weeks.
Oh,
Badass. Congrats.
Let's
that's
go.
awesome.
After
Yeah.
7 years.
Oh.
I also wanted to like, if you ever see me in your guys' lives and you have somebody that's making a horrible argument about how easy it is to transition, you're welcome to bring me up. I'd love to talk about it. I sat. Do you guys mind if I tell my story real
No,
quick?
go ahead.
Oh,
You're
please go ahead.
I grew up in a very, very Christian household. My grandfather was an elder in our church. I grew up in a Lutheran home, but very, um, to my great regret, I voted for Bush in 2008. Uh, so yeah, I greatly regret that. Or not Bush. The Republican candidate.
Oh, Mitt
I
Romney?
voted. I think so.
Or
Yeah. Geez, I don't even remember who was running back then.
John McCain.
John McCain. It might have been Romney. I think I didn't like McCain. And I grew up very, very conservative and really repressed. I knew that I was different. I knew that I wanted to be a woman at a very, very young age. I want to say like 5 or 6. Like I knew something was just incongruent is really just the best term. I was constantly getting in trouble playing with my grandma or my sister's makeup. I remember crying because I wanted to be pretty and I never thought that I could be and I wasn't allowed. Um, my father was the opposite of supportive. My grandparents were definitely not supportive. And they just kind of thought that I was just weird, I guess. and I kind of always rebelled against that. And then when I was 12, I remember like my older sister had moved, and I have 5 sisters, and my oldest sister had moved out and gone to college, but she left a bunch of clothes behind. And I remember vividly like I don't care anymore. I'm just gonna go and like experiment. And I got caught like wearing one of my sister's dresses, just trying to like see how I felt in it. And I grew up completely away from any idea of transgenderism or like that um, the only time that I ever got out was when I was 12 and I was caught. I was caught by my mom, and she asked me about it. And I said, "Well, I feel fucking beautiful in this. Like I feel great." Um, and she said, "Well, because you live with your conservative grandparents right across the hall. Like this is not going to be allowed till you're 18 and moved out of the house." And then my teenage years were so depressed and just I worked in our church a lot. I was an acolyte, which is like if you're not familiar, it's like the Lutheran version of altar boy. And I just got like super heavily involved in church because I thought that it would fix me. I thought where you get caught and you think that you're like broken instead of valid.
Mm-hmm.
I put up with that till I graduated, and I just constantly kept questioning if I was doing the right thing, and I just felt miserable my entire teenage life. And unfortunately, my mom was diagnosed with cancer when I was 16, and then she passed away when I was 18. So everything was just put on the back burner. And then I was in a house alone with my dad. All my older siblings had moved out, so there was never a possibility of like transitioning at that point. And then from then on, it was just like trying to survive and pay bills. Until eventually I decided, in 2015, I decided I think I am going to transition, and I came out. And through part of that process, I became a victim of domestic violence and became homeless. After coming out to my girlfriend and her family, because they were super conservative. And I've been out publicly since 2016. But I've struggled with homelessness and trying to pay bills and take care of my 2 kids. And I have what are called lipomas, and I have 16 of them all over my body. And they're like tiny little tumors, but they're non-cancerous fatty tissue. And the big concern for doctors was always, well, we don't know how it's going to respond to estrogen. We think that estrogen might make them cancerous. They're not cancerous now, but they might. So nobody would even give me informed consent. From 2016, literally up until 2 years ago, I signed informed consent right before all of the shutdowns for COVID happened. And I was going to get all of the lipomas removed and then go forward with HRT after that. But I lost my endocrinologist because after they shut down, he moved. And all of my appointments to get them removed were canceled. So then I went back on a 2-year waiting list.
Oh man.
I got extended another year because of work, because I couldn't get time off. So it's, I fought for 6 years just to get on HRT, only to have it moved again because of COVID.
Yeah, of course, the idea of just being able to just run in and ask for hormones, it's not a thing.
Yeah, it's even for adults. I'm 33 years old, and thankfully I have I'm not going to name drop him for safety reasons, but I have most. I think everybody in like the tri-state area of Michigan agrees that my doctor is the best and most supportive for trans people endocrinologist in the area. I'm very lucky to have somebody that understood, because I work at a carnival and I travel and I'm gone all the time. And they took that into consideration and understood that, I've been pushing this since 2016, trying to get on HRT. And they looked at my medical records and said, we don't even need a note from a therapist. We're just going to prescribe you today. So I was very lucky in that, but it took fucking 7 years to get that.
Yeah.
So,
and that's a lot of people's story, well, not that, but it's not easy. It's not an easy thing you can't just walk in and request hormones and get them.
Hey, Mel, thanks for having me on. I'm going to get some sleep though now. Bye.
Thanks, Dora.
I just want to say to the mods, if they're wondering why I asked to get rid of, I think their name is Josephine. I have photos of them sending me harassing messages. I was guesting on Adora's live before, and they just really hate me for literally no reason. I can send anyone the messages. It was a whole book more or less about how much they hate me, and they don't want me in Adora's spaces, and they don't want me in Mel's spaces, and they just really don't like me. And it got to the point where they were coming after my physical appearance. They were just really not okay.
No, we don't need proof for that.
Yeah, no, that's...
we don't need
to block them or whatever.
Based. You're from mid-Michigan? That's where I'm from too. I grew up in Mason, and now I live in Grand Rapids, except you won't find me in Grand Rapids hardly ever because I travel with carnivals on the road for the vast majority of the year. So, because I get my own and work and have a house. But I love you all so much, and I'm going to hop out. I just want
much love and support.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you for listening to my story. You guys can always bring me up to the box. I love being in the box and arguing with people.
Awesome. Have a good night. All right, here's my thing. My battery is kind of low and my portable charger is dead.
What are you, a first-time person going live?
Huh?
What is this, your first time going live?
Well, it's nighttime, so my screen's brighter than usual, so it's like it didn't last as long.
Excuses.
I know, I'm not a noob. I can charge with my kid's laptop, I guess. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break and I'm gonna reset. And I'll be right back.
See you soon.
Bye.